The weather has been beautiful in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, at Sewell Thomas Stadium, but even more so for the visiting 22nd ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, who have a 2-0 advantage so far in the series against the 8th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. On Friday night, Bama led it late, but in the 8th, the Hogs exploded for 6 runs to take the lead. Then on Saturday, a 1-run game became a blowout as the Hogs scored 10 in the final 2 frames. Welcome, everybody. Yes, it's Masters Sunday, and along those lines, hello, friends. Along with Alan Dunn, I'm Chris Stewart. Glad to have you with us for what we expect to be another great game. Alabama's just hoping it'll be that way for 9 rather than 7.5.
You know, Chris, you look in this league, one weekend you're on the mountaintop, the other weekend you can be in the valley. Alabama's been on the mountaintop the last 2 weekends. Arkansas has been in the valley. Alabama needs to find a way to win a home game, and Arkansas is looking to do something they wouldn't have imagined coming here to get a sweep. I think we're in for a great matchup today and as we get to the halfway mark of the SEC.
The Razorbacks, again, doing most of their damage late. 10 hits, 6 runs, and everything until the 8th or 9th innings. But Friday and Saturday, they combined 13 hits and 16 runs.
You know, and that's one of the things, if you're Alabama, giving up those runs late in the game, man, that's like a dagger in you, especially Friday night. You have a tough loss there. You come back Saturday, and Arkansas kind of added on. So you need to find a way tonight, this afternoon, to somehow get a win at home.
When you flip it to the Crimson Tide in SEC play, a rough start, losing 3 in Lexington. Then they come back, sweep Florida and Auburn for the first time since 2002. They take 2 out of 3 on the road in Norman, but then they drop the series to Arkansas as the Hogs have been awfully impressive. Coach Rob Vaughn's squad sporting the camo jerseys today as Miles Upchurch delivers the first pitch for a strike. Upchurch, the freshman out of Maryland, 6'4", 230 pounds. He comes in built like a grown man who's pitching like one as well.
Absolutely. You look at Miles Upchurch, and huge right here, get that leadoff hitter. But if you look at what he's going to feature, he's what they look like. Power pitcher. He's going to work 92 to 95 with his fastball. You look at his numbers on the year: 30 innings pitched, 40 punch outs, 24 walks. Has kind of been the nemesis, especially in the league. But hey, you flush all that. It's a new start today. You're turning to a freshman to try to win a game at home, and this guy has all the potential to do that.
See that fastball, pretty good range on it. 90 to 95 can be quite a difference, but I think the location and timing of where 90 comes and where 95 is can really determine just how effective you are. TJ Pompey's a guy we'll be keeping an eye on as Carter Rutenbar will lead things off. Fouls that one back, and the count quickly moves to 0-2. Again, they haven't been terrible, but they haven't been what they'd like to be at the plate for the majority of the weekend in the first 7 frames. But oh goodness, does it change when we talk about the 8th inning for the Razorbacks, as that one just missed low.
And when you're talking about Arkansas, listen, their history of their program and what they've done in this league, you know you can't contain them for a 30-game schedule. They're going to break out, and this weekend they've been able to find some guys in that lineup that have been able to do some damage throughout the full lineup, especially late, as we talked about, late in the 8th and 9th innings of the 2 previous games. But listen, Miles Upchurch, we've talked about him. He has the ability to go through a lineup. If he's in the strike zone, his stuff plays, and a big important part of his game is the changeup. That's his MO pitch. And if he's doing that and filling up the zone, he's got a chance to do really good things in this outing this afternoon.
David Savage calling the balls and strikes. Vic Carell is at first today with Joe Harris at second, and Kevin Sweeney, the crew chief, rounding out things down at third base. Payoff pitch. That one is lifted towards left. It's well hit, drifting back and camping out at the wall and leaping to make the catch. And a good one. is Osterhaus for the Crimson Tide. Thought it was going to be routine. Then I thought it was gone. I was wrong twice.
You look at this play again, Chris. Look at it. It looked like it was a hanging slider. Helfrich, who has 11 homers on this season, he didn't quite get it, but what a great job by Osterhaus getting to the wall, timing his jump, finds the leather. Big pick. Hey, pick up your freshman pitcher in a huge defensive play right there.
Wind helped things as well as it's pushing back towards home plate, and that's the only reason that it stayed in the yard. With a little bit of push the other direction, that one gets out of Sewell Thomas Stadium. 2 gone. Mekhi New stands in.
And if Upchurch could get out of this inning 1, 2, 3, because you look at what he's done in his outings, you know, he's averaging just a little less than 4 innings pitched throughout the course of the season and 8 starts. So if he could get off to a really good start here, keep his pitch count down, and then take the team deep in the game, that would be a huge uplift to him. But then you don't have to go to that bullpen, which Alabama has been taxed over these last 2 days with their bullpen. And you know, Chris, on these Sunday games, that kind of is the MO for a lot of teams in this league.
Micah New taking the pitch down low and gets ahead in the count, 3-1. New's a senior, 6'1", 190 out of Mechanicsburg, PA. New Orleans transfer who started at Marshall. And takes the strike there to work the count full, 3-2.
Big pitch right there. That's 3-1 count. Listen, you got to make him do something with the pitch. Free bases have been the nemesis for Upchurch. He has 24 in the league. He goes out after him, make him swing the bat right now.
He does swing, he does miss, and it becomes a 1-2-3 inning for the Crimson Tide and the freshman righty Miles Upchurch. Dealing early, got some defense around him, and delivering the strikeout pitch to end the top of the first. This weekend, Alabama has been way too kind to the visitors. The Tides left 19 men on base, only gone 9 of 44 with runners on and men in scoring position. Tend to stay there on the bases, only 5 of 21 with only 3 hits with 2 outs all weekend long. That's a tough formula for success.
And listen, and you look at, obviously, offensively, you want to be able to cash those runs in. But listen, on the flip side of that, you look at what Arkansas's pitching has been able to do. They're guys that have been late in the ball game, have been able to execute quality pitches to keep runners at bay when Alabama's had them in scoring position. But that is the recipe for Alabama today, is get them on and get them in.
Brady Neal is in need of some help. I wouldn't say he'd like some help, but he's in need of some help. You saw his numbers so far, 3 of 6 with a couple of RBIs, and just looking for some more consistency out of the rest of the Tide offensively. Here's the man who will try to keep the Hogs perfect for the weekend. Tate McGuire, 6'3", 215 out of Liberty, Missouri.
Another one of these arms that Arkansas runs out at you. Second start of the season with a 3.86 ERA, 23 innings pitched. Good strikeout to walk at 20-6. strikeouts to walk ratio. He's gonna work 91 to 93 with his fastball. He's got 5 pitches that he can come at the hitters with. But he's a guy that they've moved up into the rotation as they took out Gabe Gackle and moved him back to the bullpen, trying to switch some things up. And this is the guy they're turning to give them an opportunity to sweep a series.
Well, gets the leadoff man out, Bryce Fowler, who's been really good in that role. And you see the pitches that McGuire likes to go with there.
Yeah, and that big pitch there, the big pitch is that cutter slider. He's getting almost 40% chase rate, swing and miss when the hitters chase it, and even when it is in the zone, there's still a 33% whiff rate when the ball is in the zone. So this guy has some elite stuff, and if he's filling up the zone, it's going to be a tough sledding for the Tide.
Cute foul off the end of the bat for the left-handed hitting second baseman for Alabama, who slides up in the order after a little production in the bottom of the order in the 9th spot.
You know, we've talked about the lineup change today with moving Holt up into the 2-hole and you know, and then moving LeBron down into the 4-hole. But if you look at the move with Holt moving up into this part of the lineup, he has been phenomenal in that 9-hole. And reason being, and especially in this situation, he can handle the bat, he can bunt, he can hit and run. He steals you a base, so there's a lot he can do in this 2-hole.
Unfortunately for the Tide, all he does right there is roll out to short. They're quickly 2 gone here in the Alabama half of the 1st inning. Kojal's been really good offensively, but always steady with the glove. So here's the man we talked about a little earlier, Tallahassee native Brady Neal. 3 for 6 yesterday. You see the 7 homers on the year and 36 RBIs, and this late in the year to be hitting .364 shows how consistent he is as well.
And, you know, Chris, it's so fun to watch a player come into their own, meaning, you know, this is a guy that's been in this league since his freshman year at LSU for 2 years. Then he comes to Alabama and, you know, had mixed results in his first 2 or 3 years, but just seeing him to realize his potential, the confidence, he's playing with a swag, going into right field, he can catch. He has been such a huge impact on this team.
Unfortunately for the Tide, he pops this one into foul territory, and a nice play down at third rounds out the top half of the 1st. Bama goes in order, and we are scoreless after 1 frame here at the Joe. Well, in the SEC this weekend, Georgia taking game 2 of their series against the Florida Gators. A 4-run 8th doing the damage for the Dogs. Tennessee pulling off an upset of 9th-ranked Mississippi State. 10 straight win in that series for the Vols. And Texas A&M takes another one from their in-state rivals. Aggies and Longhorns now tied for second in the league with a 9-5 mark. For Stuart, Alan Dunn back with you at Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa, where, again, Miles Upchurch, the freshman right-hander with a 4-2 mark and a 3.60 ERA, leads things off against the left-handed hitting Camden Kojal, who, as a junior, is batting .307, 9 homers, second on the team with 39 RBIs, which is tops in that category. Pops this one foul back and out of play. Big shift on, as Alabama is known to do defensively.
And, you know, Kojal, he is the guy that going into this season, he was up for the Golden Spikes Award watch list. Been hitting in the middle of that lineup. He's the guy that they kind of have built their offense around, him and Helfrich. And if you look at what he's done in the SEC, he's only hit 190 in the SEC. This weekend, he's kind of found it as he has 3 hits on the weekend. But this is a guy you cannot contain, and you're just hoping Alabama can find a way throughout this game today to keep him of having quality at bats.
Upchurch ahead, 1-2, and just misses a tad low there to even things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In this early going with Upchurch, really looking at his demeanor right now, he's looking really confident. He's showing 3 of his pitches that he's got a pretty good feel for, and that is his MO. You throw that pitch right there, that's his changeup, and he can execute that pitch in that location. As we look at it again right here, look at this changeup. The bottom just falls out. That's a good SEC hitter that you can tell the arm speed on that pitch. Great location. And again, get your leadoff hitter out. Great job by Upchurch.
So with 1 out, that'll bring up Damian Ruiz to the plate. And he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Crimson Tide trying to get back in the win column, looking to get to a 9-6 mark if they could get a victory here. But the Hogs trying to get back above 500. These 2 squads would be dead even at 8-7. And again, it's going to be really interesting when we get down the back half of conference play, which starts next weekend, by the way, to see if things start to sort themselves out or if we're going to keep everybody bunched up. And we're trending towards a very interesting final weekend of the regular season.
And as you've been doing this a long time, Chris, and you've been watching this league, and I'm guaranteeing you it's going down to the last weekend. I mean, you can go from one spot in the conference and flip it, and you go from the bottom to the middle to the top in a heartbeat. So it's going to be one of those normal SEC 15 games to the finish line.
2-2 pitch. This is outside. And not just in terms of winning the league, but positioning and seeding, yes, for Hoover in the SEC tournament, but even bigger, the NCAA regionals. And teams fighting for host opportunities, team fighting for a 2 or a 3 seed, as that one is hammered but foul down the left field line. And the count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's why every pitch, every game has such meaning.
And listen, in that you know, the road to Omaha, if you're able to get that host, and if you're able to get a super regional, I mean, your opportunity to advance is just exponentially gone to the top level. So you're right, man. Every weekend, every game. That's why we talked about today, the Tide trying to come out with a win at home just to get a win. 1, to help your morale, but 2, in the standings, and you just need to collect wins.
There is a called 3rd strike. Ruiz thought he had ball 4. Instead, he gets rung up. And there are now 2 gone.
This is a great sign right here. Again, it's that changeup. It starts on the outer third, has that little comeback action. The hitter gives up on it, catches just enough of the outside part of the plate. Huge punch out in a 3-2 count. When you can throw a 3-2 count changeup in this league or any league, you can win a lot of baseball games.
2 gone, nobody aboard. And the Razorbacks sending Aloy, the Hawaii native, back to the plate. Kuhio Aloy taking that one upstairs, and he gets ahead in the count 2-0.
And this guy, you don't want to make mistakes to this guy, because he is, let's just say that when he gets in the box, he's looking to hit the ball over the law building here at Alabama. He is not going to get cheated on his swings. Have some spots you can go to, but if you miss, he can really do damage.
Two balls and a strike. Now the count, and that one nowhere close. Upchurch falls behind. 3-1. 2 gone, nobody aboard. Neither side recording a hit thus far.
Big pitch here to, again, 2 outs, 3-1 count. You want to make him swing the bat. But a pitcher's commanded pitch is critical here.
Well, that was nasty, wasn't it?
Absolutely. 3-1 breaking ball for a freshman in this league. You can tell right now he's confident with all of his stuff. Now you want to put the cleat on the throat and get that 3rd out to end this inning.
Payoff pitch. Pinks the outside corner for a called 3rd strike. That's twice the Hogs thought they had ball 4, only to get punched out. So once again, Upchurch gets it done. We are still scoreless. On the diamond here in Tuscaloosa. 8th-ranked Alabama and 22nd-ranked Arkansas, but just beyond where you saw the right field Ragers sitting, you have Coleman Coliseum, the home of the Alabama Crimson Tide men's and women's teams. The new head coach of the Crimson Tide women, Pauline Love. Coach, great to see you. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, a place you called home for a few years as an assistant.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's a great day. I feel good about coming back to Tuscaloosa. Still got some family here, so I'm happy to be back.
Talk about the draw. Obviously, a chance to be a head coach
Absolutely.
is huge, but when you have a resume like yours, you have other opportunities. Why was Alabama right for you?
Just because the people felt like home, and it all started with, I'll be honest, with the workers and the custodial people around. They just made me feel like, I never made them feel like they were too small for me. And when I came back, when I was at Oklahoma, and I had a nice little fan section when I came back, and it was just, again, it just felt like home.
Awesome, awesome. So talk a little bit about, coming back and and then looking at your team as you're going forward and the things that you got to put in place. How do you feel about that and meet with your players? I'm assuming soon, if not already.
Yes.
How do you feel about those things at this point?
Feel pretty good about it. You know, we're in a landscape of kids want to figure some things out from a financial standpoint, but I'm going to get the kids that want to be here and want Alabama to be like family for them. So we're working. I got kids coming in every day of the week, so I probably got about 10 kids coming in every day. So again, looking to fill a roster, and I retained a few, and those kids are invested in what we're trying to do, and so yeah, and we'll get it done.
Alan understands that part of it, except when he was coaching, it was in the SEC. You were talking about scholarship numbers. You weren't talking about scholarship money. You weren't talking about NIL money, which is now such a major part of what's going on.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, we have enough financially to support what I want to do here. And I'm still going to sell. We're going to be a family. We're going to play, I like to call it with the 3 T's: togetherness, toughness, and trust. And if I can get a team to believe in that, I'm fine. I'm rolling with it.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's basketball, right?
That's right.
Hey,
That's it.
You want people that want to be here first and foremost.
That's right.
That they're going to bring that effort every day. And I'm sure that that's, as you have already alluded to, that you're looking for players that want to buy into that. And so with your philosophy and kind of what kind of team do you think that you like to have, and how do you want to kind of make things roll?
Just some kids with some grit to them, hard-nosed kids that just want to go out there and fight and compete every night, and also have that camaraderie of a winning spirit within the locker room. So that's just what I'm looking for, and somebody that can bring a little family atmosphere and still have fun doing it.
You gonna push it? I mean, is it an up-tempo deal?
It's going to be up-tempo. We're going to play fast. We're going to try to score first 8 to 11 seconds in the shot clock, and we're going to take the first best shot we can get.
I guess you and Nate Oates have had some conversations then. That sounds real familiar.
Absolutely. He's got it figured out. He's got it figured out. I can tell you that right now.
Well, the Tide hoping a lot of baskets are going to be scored by the home team again on the women's side. And again, it is a luxury. There's constant turnover as that one is lined to right by Hines, and it'll get down for a base hit. They're going to try to go first to third, actually from, first to third, and doing so on that play was Mr. LeBron. Not surprised, his aggressiveness. What I was going to go with, Coach, the fact that there is so much turnover. Even a Michigan team on the men's side who had 5 transfer players wins a national title, but now they're going to go re-recruit everybody.
Absolutely.
You're in a spot where you are inheriting a season that was very successful. Again, on a nice stretch under Christy Curry where they'd become regulars in the NCAA tournament. But now you got to figure out who's going to be back and what you need in order to make it look like you want it to look.
Absolutely, and we're pretty much starting over. It's going to be a rebuild. You got a lot of them that want to get in the portal with the option of coming back. And I'm trying to understand where their mind is right now. And obviously, like I said before, it's all for a financial gain, but I'm going to get the kids that want to be at Alabama and that wants to win at Alabama. So regardless, I told them you can go figure it out, and if that spot is not there, it's not there.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're going to lace up 15 players or
That's
whatever
right.
you have
That's
that
right.
are wearing that Crimson Tide,
That's
and
right.
we're going to play the game, right?
That's
I love
right.
that. That's
Absolutely.
something that I think has been kind of missing a little bit
Sure.
in the game, and
Sure.
you want people that want to be there. That's great.
Just play with some pride.
Andrew Purdy standing in for the Crimson Tide. Runners at first and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. The Tide trying to break a scoreless tie as that one is fouled out of play. We're talking with Alabama's new women's basketball coach, Pauline Love, coming from University of Oklahoma, associate head coach there, and now your own program as the head coach in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk more about that after this pitch to the first baseman, Andrew Purdy. And he taps another one foul to keep the count at a ball and 2 strikes. We were talking about retention and recruiting. Helps that when one of the top players in the state, who was one of the top freshmen in the league last year, has opted to come back, and that was a great sign, I know, for your program with Ace Austin announcing.
Absolutely. She came to me and she told me she trusts me. I gave her my vision, and she trusts and she loves this state. And so to retain her is big, and I'm going to try to put some kids around her that has that same feeling.
A ball and 2 strikes, line to right. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Holding up its second will be Hines. It'll be an RBI single for Andrew Purdy. That is his 6th run batted in on the year. And the Tide is Abel Allen to get the lead.
You look at this swing right here by Purdy. Great job of hitting. Hey, that's back-to-back freshmen that have produced with Hines getting first to third, and then Purdy getting a great pitch that he can drive in. Good job for the Tide of putting one on the board with nobody out, runners at first and second.
And a meeting on the mound now for the Hogs as activity will start down in their bullpen. Talking again with Pauline Love, the new women's basketball coach at the University of Alabama. And all right, we got to break down some film. I know that's an important part of coaching. Let's see. I want your evaluation of what you did, or maybe better if the pitching coach Alan Dunn does so. That's a strike in any league, isn't it?
First of all, I'm gonna give you kudos because you threw it from the mound. Most people want to get a little closer, but hey, it did scare you, and you came out and had a good leg lift, and then boom, and you threw it close to the plate. So kudos to you.
I'm competitive. It is a lot of pressure. I was nervous it was going to be short. That's scary.
Don't bounce it.
No.
Derek Jeter to President George W. Bush. Don't bounce it. Don't bounce it.
That's exactly
That was the main thing. All right, here's Jason Torres, the third baseman. 224 hitter is the senior. 4 homers, 34 RBIs. First and second for him, and he shows bunt. Takes it for strike one. Allen, Alabama trying to get a couple of men in scoring position right here.
You know, in Torres, if you look what he's done, he's 0 for 9 on the weekend. So, and he is their RBI guy. You look at his, he's got 34 RBIs. He's been so successful in this part of the lineup with Alabama throughout his career. But he's not afraid to do that either. Even though you look at him, you think, hey, he's a home run guy. Hey, he'll lay it down. He'll do anything to move the runners in scoring position. So this is a big at bat for Alabama and Torres to kind of get going for this weekend.
Takes another one for a strike. That pitch looked to be down a little bit too, Coach. A little surprised he didn't make more of an offer at that.
Yeah, you know, and listen, as we said, he's had a rough weekend in terms of getting any production. So maybe not seeing the ball as well as he normally does. And just catching him, he looks like he's in between his timing and maybe guessing on pitches and what am I going to need to go after. If we look right here, he just got froze here. It looked like it's a slider. Yeah, actually looked like maybe the changeup that kind of ran back in, and that's a great pitch by McGuire with runners in first and second.
A huge first out for McGuire and the Razorbacks. As now standing in for the Tide is Justin Osterhaus, the left fielder, who slaps that one foul and out of play. Was there a second sport for you playing in high school, or was it just basketball?
No, I did track. I was a distance runner.
Okay.
I like to run and run and run.
Your strides don't take as long as a lot of others.
Exactly. But yeah, that was my second sport. And after that, it's probably video gaming. That's about it. I used to game a lot.
You could still relate to the kids quite a bit.
100%. Not as much now, but then yes.
I don't know if you challenge him, because you know there's the pool table in the men's clubhouse locker room area where Nate Oates shows no mercy, from what I'm told.
He shouldn't.
Yeah, on the pool table. So I don't know if he's fooling with video games, but at least you definitely speak the same language.
Absolutely.
In that regard.
Hey, you got to earn every win you get, regardless of where it is.
That's right.
Pool table, basketball court. Hey, you got to fight for what you get.
That's right.
3 balls and a strike now to Osterhaus. I know you probably haven't had a chance to look. Well, you probably glance, but not nearly as important as a roster. What about schedule, the non-conference portion you try to build?
You know what? I want to try to be a little competitive than in the years past, just to get our team prepared for.
You're good. Double play ball there helps the Hogs get out of the jam. Hey, Coach, we appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
We know the schedule will be competitive. We know the Tide will be as well. We appreciate it. Coach Pauline Love, new women's basketball coach at Alabama. Hey, she got the Tide a lead. It's 1-0 after 2.
Roll Tide.
our score. Alabama leading Arkansas as we welcome you back to Sewell Thomas Stadium. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn, who's both played and coached in this league and now as a broadcaster. Nowhere near as much stress and tension, right? Enjoying it a whole lot more?
Well, absolutely. And getting a chance to work with you is obviously
that'll send you back into coaching. More play. But thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. Love being up here. Love to watch this league. The talent in this league is it's crazy good, and it's been great being up here and following these guys and looking forward to the rest of the way.
Miles Upchurch working his third inning as the starter, facing Nolan Souza, who's hitting .270 now in the year. Couple of homers and the 19 RBIs on the season. Little chopper right side, and that's going to be off the glove of the Alabama first baseman Andrew Purdy. He drove in a run, but misplays that one, trying to play it from the side, coach, and yeah, that one hits off the heel. It
looks like he just got caught in between. You know, that trying to either go for the big bounce or he let that second bounce get on and kind of side saddled it, and this had a little juice on that ball as well, and it kicks off the glove. But here's a job for Upchurch to pick up a teammate and roll one up.
Let me ask you a question about that last play. Things change in all sports about what's taught, what's emphasized. And I'm sure old school people, frankly, like myself, who hadn't played in a long time, you're thinking, all right, you got to smother that. You got to knock it down, use your body, make sure you're in front, don't play to the side. But is that the same on plays like that?
I guarantee you, if you were to talk to him about that play.
Another misplay by Alabama. So two that have been in the leather and have popped out, and that's allowed the first two men to reach for the Razorbacks. But finish your thought.
Yeah, and you know, if you were to talk to him as we look at this one, you know, one more pitch right here, the ball was on the line. It looks like, I mean, he had the play. I don't know if he lost it or it just hit off the glove and it found its way in the outfield. But you know, this is something right here that if you're Upchurch, you gotta flush those two plays. And again, baseball is a sport where, hey, each guy's picking up the other guy, and this will be a great opportunity. Probably have a bunt situation here.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
As big a mistake there by Arkansas as what happened by Alabama on the first two plays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're Robinette. They got you down there, and he handles the bat. I mean, he's a veteran guy. You got to get the ball on the ground. Easier said than done. But hey, Upchurch makes a pitch. Now he's got an opportunity to pick up some teammates. You roll a ground ball here. You maybe get to at least one. So you're managing damage. If you can manage the negative things happening, that's the key to pitching. And I think if you talk to Upchurch and Coach Jackson, these innings have been getting away from him in his SEC starts, whether it be base on balls or things like that. So hopefully he has something to draw from experience and be able to make some pitches here.
Here's the top of the order in Rutenbar. Let me ask you, with the pitch that was popped out by Robinette, some of that, it's not Robinette just making a mistake. It's where the pitch was located, knowing that, hey, this is a bunt situation. I definitely don't want to give him something low.
And Coach Jackson, you know, they're going to talk about this. This is what the fall is for. When you're learning about situational pitching and what are we going to try to do, and I'm assuming if you're looking at a defense of that particular play, first and second bunt situation, your whole job as a defense is to get an out.
Right.
If you don't get an out, you're opening yourself up for a 3-run inning. So whatever it takes to get an out, you're taught. Most of the time you want to say maybe something elevated up in the zone. Maybe you get a pop-up, but also you got to have the stuff. And when he's 92 to 95, that's a hard pitch to bunt. Sure. You know, and his ball kind of stays on line and it has some carry to it. So great pitch, great job of execution. Now you're 0-2 in the count. This would be a huge get if he could get this hitter and then turn and get that third out.
Instead, it's a fly ball to right field, but it's going to hang up. Settling under it once again for the Tide is Neal. He'll get it in as tagging from second and moving to third is Souza. But they are on the corners. Pompey at first, Souza at third. And after Rootbar flies out to right field, it is the incredibly dangerous Ryder Helfrich standing in now.
And that's a really good pitch by Upchurch. Looked like it was either cutter that kind of got in on him, and he had that really a routine fly ball to right field. Now you can't let down defensively. If you're one, the defense, and two, if you're Upchurch, you got to stay on the offensive and make pitches.
That one's hammered, and great play at second base. The fire to first in time for the out. What a job by Brennan Holt. You and I could see it. That thing was wiggling as it got towards center field, but the second baseman's able to flag it down.
The old knuckleball. Look at this play by Holt. Reaches out, sets his feet. Great throw in the inning. Big pickup for the Tide.
One 0 Alabama holding on to its lead against Arkansas early. That's a familiar theme. Alabama's been ahead. It's staying there late that's been the issue, but you got to finish, whether you're on the diamond or whether you're on the golf course. Maria Jose Marin from the University of Arkansas won the Augusta Women's Amateur this week. The national honor, and what a great accomplishment leading into the Masters, which is heading down the stretch today. Leaders just teeing off on a gorgeous Sunday there at Augusta, but the Women's National Amateur has become a wonderful event there the week prior to that. Indeed, tradition unlike any other. Swing and a foul ball back by Chase Kroberger. The 200 hitter for the weekend. He has had one hit in 5 at-bats, a walk, and a run scored. See the freshman, his numbers for the season. One, two, chopper down to third. And the throw is off the mark by Pompey, and that is going to be a break for the Crimson Tide. Thought it was going to be a routine out. Instead, it's an E5. It puts the leadoff man aboard for Alabama just as the leadoff man reached for Arkansas a half inning ago.
Just a routine play. Looks like he kind of got his feet not in the best position and didn't really square up. You get a sail on the throw. Alabama, again, they're getting the leadoff hitter on every inning, and they've obviously last inning they cashed in, and you want to continue, as we saw that stat early in the telecast, where you've got to make good swings with runners in scoring position, and now you just kind of keep the line going here.
And credit Kroberger for tearing out of the batter's box right from the get-go. That looked like a routine play, but if he doesn't hustle and force Pompey to hurry, that probably is a routine out.
And listen, I've come to accustomed to seeing this in a Rob Vaughn team, that they are going to play every play hard, whether win, lose, draw, whatever you want to say. They are playing hard baseball. You have 27 outs, and you want to make the team earn every one that they get. A great job by Kroberger, as you pointed out.
Well hit ball, but playable there in center field for New, and so that will get Bryce Fowler, who's struggled a little bit this weekend, only 1 hit in 7 at-bats. He does have a run scored and 2 RBIs, but the on-base percentage has not been what they're accustomed to from the leadoff man. But he's not alone in that regard, but especially in his spot, they need him getting on base. So with 1 out, that'll bring up Brennan Holt, who had that great play to end the top half of this 3rd inning. Senior's batting .290 on the year with a homer and 16 RBIs.
And you do have Osterhaus at first, who does have stolen base ability. He's 7 out of 8, and throughout his career, as he transferred in from Purdue Fort Wayne, he has been a I'm one behind there. It's Kroberger, and who also has the ability with his speed that he can take a bag as well. He only has 1 on the season, but he does have stolen base ability.
There's a fastball strike. And I think we had a pitch count, excuse me, a pitch clock violation right there. I think we've also got a scoreboard issue. I don't think the count is correct. Actually, it is. Forgive me, they had the hitter wrong up there, and I assume the count was wrong as well, but it's not. It is a base on balls that puts men at first and second with just 1 out. Holt drawing the free pass, and Brady Neal will come to the plate now.
So we got Kroberger at second, we got Brennan Holt at first, and we got the man who's been doing all the damage for the Tide thus far in Brady Neal, and this has been the situation he's been thriving in all season.
Brady Neal hammers this one towards right field. Reaching up at the warning track and making the grab is Rutenbar for a huge second out. Absolutely tattooed, but had a little too much topspin on it.
Absolutely, and I think it did get up in that wind as we see the flag, but I think it just kind of knocked it down. But I do think that he had that, too much right hand, or actually left hand, that he rolled over the swing and hit a one of your look like one of your 3-irons right there, Mr. Stewart.
I ain't touching a 3-iron. Old man's going hybrid if I got to go that low. That one is belted down the left field line. Justin LeBron with a base hit that's going to score 1. Digging for third and sliding in safely on the play as LeBron gets to second with an RBI double. Great base running from Brennan Holt.
As we look again right here, fastball that didn't quite get to the middle part of the plate. He reaches out, and it's great to see LeBron put that good bat path, quick hands. He drives the ball down the line. Looks like they're going to double check this one at third on the tag.
You know, they've been pretty successful on reviews this weekend, have the Razorbacks. And I thought in watching it, it was definitely worth a review. In fact, you and I both kind of think this one will be overturned, but we'll wait and see. Take a look, see if we can tell here. The throw's there in time. Does he apply the tag, though, in time? Yeah, I think he did. He got him on the right hand. It was a bang-bang play, but I will be a little surprised if this one's not overturned. I've been surprised before. It doesn't take much.
As I will as well, Chris. And listen, you're talking about Holt. I love the play. I love the aggressiveness. That's Alabama's MO. You're going to go first to third. You're going to make them make a perfect throw, and you get the third with less than 2 outs. Now you got a chance to put another one on the board. I think that's a great offensive-minded play by Holt, and maybe they catch a break here, and it's upheld that he's safe.
At the replay, the call on the field is safe. Arkansas still has 1 challenge remaining.
A tradition unlike any other. I'm wrong.
Hey, I'm with you. I thought right here, if you look at it again, but he had the, what they call that, the old swim move, and he took his hand up. And
I thought his hand got knocked that direction. He just moved it to avoid the tag, and that's, again, great work by our crew.
Hey,
but we're also a great call in live action by our third base umpire there in Kevin Sweeney. He's the crew chief, and work like that is one of the reasons why. So with a 2-0 Alabama advantage, 2 out runners at second and third, that's a big call potentially if Hines can deliver. 0-1 the count to the freshman from right here in Tuscaloosa. Chops it foul, and he's down 0-2. He had that massive home run on Friday night that cleared the scoreboard.
And you look at what he's done on the weekend. He's 4 for 9 on the weekend with an RBI. So he's been seeing the ball, swinging the ball, having great production in his at-bats. And you give Eric Hines kudos. This is a guy that has waited his opportunity. He did some things in the fall that opened eyes, but still needed more developing, and still going to need developing. But he has really taken his opportunities and shined when he's gotten them.
Pop this one up, though, a mile high on the infield. Who wants it? They're not sure, and finally coming in to make the play is Pompey at third base. Boy, cue the circus music for a moment as you had the catcher, Helfrich, and Pompey both kind of looking at each other, but the Hogs get the out after Bama does score 1. Be up 2-0, but they were really close to making this a 4-0 score in the third. 2 outs, men at second and third. There's nothing routine about a pop-up, is there?
Absolutely not. And listen, a grown man hit that ball straight up the chute. Pompey, give him credit. That looks like a routine. There ain't no such thing as you allude to. The wind blowing, and that ball was elevated, let's just say the least. Elevated, and a good job. That saved that saved a couple of runs potentially right there.
Helfrich and Pompey were both looking pretty confused initially on that one, but ultimately Pompey makes the play to keep it a 2-0 advantage. Bama with single runs in the second and third. And they've also out-hit the Hogs 3-1. That's something that's different from yesterday. Bama had the lead at times early, but hadn't really out-hit the Hogs. Arkansas did its damage late, and plenty of it, and that's the reason they lead this series 2-0.
Yeah, and it's something that you look at there with Aloy, Pompey, Rutenbar, Souza, and Kazil. They were 18 for 43 in this series, and that's something that Arkansas has not been able to get on this stretch they've been on, and those guys produced, especially late in the game yesterday.
I'm not picking on you. I got your back because I did it all in the first game.
Kozel, hey.
Once we started and we knew we couldn't get it back on track, we had to start over and go to the phonetic pronunciation.
Exactly.
See, Alan Dunn is an easy one. You were a broadcaster's dream. There was no doubting what your name was and how to pronounce it.
Yes.
Line shot right at Justin LeBron.
And listen,
for the out.
and obviously you want to make sure you get them correct. Parents are listening back home. People are listening. So my apologies because we want to get it right. And so
I'm lucky I get my own right.
We'll go from
half
here.
the time. So we've got one out in the frame, and again, the right-hander Miles Upchurch working really effectively so far today.
And one of the things that really jumps out at me, he's 4 for 4 in leadoff. Well, should have been 4 for 4 and leadoff hitters out. The last frame in the third had a couple of defensive snafus, but he is making pitches and keeping runners at bay. Is at this point he's given up 1 hit, but I love the tempo. I love the ability to throw 2 and 3 pitches for strikes. He looks confident, and so now you just got to continue to stay in the moment. Your team scores a run, you got to put up a 0, and that's a huge part of this part of the ball game at this moment.
The aforementioned Camden Kozel standing in. Junior hit. I took it right there. Tap foul, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I ain't picking at you, partner. I got your back.
Hey. Oh, hey, listen, there's a lot to pick at, so we'll just kind of. Well, this is definitely one of the guys, if you're Arkansas, you want up in the box, because he has had a phenomenal career thus far. Started his career at Vanderbilt, put up great numbers at Vanderbilt, 15 home runs then, transfers into here. He's kind of been in that lineup, took him to Omaha, and it's been you look at his numbers, he's hitting .304 with 9 homers, and you go, maybe it's not his best year, but goodness gracious, that's a year for a lot of people, and very good player, plays hard, and I know Coach Van Horn is happy that he is in the middle of their diamond for this team.
Also, Fayetteville as opposed to the stadium there in Nashville, a little different ballpark. You got that artificial surface. And I'm trying to remember, I hadn't been to Fayetteville in a while. They may have gone artificial as well, as that one on the natural surface is grounded out to second base, or at least the shift on. Second baseman is able to make the play. That's Brennan Holt.
Arkansas is natural turf. Yeah, now they've done a lot of things, even since I was in the league, hey, going to Baum Stadium, that's
a special place.
Oh my goodness, what a place to play.
Let me tell you what, I first started going there 25 years ago, I guess, and that stadium was brand new, and they were ahead of everybody in terms of doing the new ballpark. One of the things that I've been so impressed with is they've made their additions and upgrades over the years. They've kept, in large measure, the look of what that park was. It looks almost like, in so many ways, if you say, all right, this is new, you would say the park as a whole, because you can't necessarily identify what's new. It's put together seamlessly.
Great point. And listen, they're going to fill it up every weekend. They love their Hogs. They're going to make you. They're going to make you as an opponent coming in there. You're going to feel it when you get into Baum Stadium. So
that Shot to center field by Ruiz. Hangs up, and the side is retired. Bama coming to bat in the fourth, leading 2-0. Two 2-0 our score back here in Tuscaloosa with Alabama leading Arkansas. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn, and kind enough to join us once again, the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Dave Van Horn. Coach, thanks as always for the time. You've made a change going to the pit. Tell us about the lefty, Parker Coyle, that's coming in.
Those, you know, he can get up to 92, 93, but they're going to pitch a little bit less than that. Good cutter, got a change up, enforcing fastball. Competes, throws a lot of strikes.
Coach, you know, looking at, obviously here we are on a Sunday, you look up and kind of what we're accustomed to in this league. How do you feel like, you know, after coming off your 2 wins, I know you want to try to get a third one. How do you feel like right now where you are in this point of the game, and where you think you need to get in terms of things that need to happen going forward?
Well, you know, you look at the first couple innings, you know, we haven't done much right. We've hit some balls really hard. I mean, that last ball that Damian hit, if it wasn't for the wind, it's off the wall or out of the park, and maybe riders in the first, but it is the way it is. I mean, they hit 1-2 that might have gone out to right. You know, we walked the batter to lead off an inning, ends up scoring. We make an error on just a throw. If it had been fielding, a tough play, ends up scoring. I mean, I feel very fortunate just to be down 2, to be honest with you.
I would imagine also, Coach, you and your squad, confidence-wise, despite the score, feel pretty good with what you've been able to do in late inning situations the last 2 days.
Yeah, and we felt like we're going to have to score today. We're going to have to recycle some pitchers and put some guys out there a little younger if we need to, that haven't been in this environment too much. So we just feel like that we've got to score. We need to score. We had an opportunity to score first, second, nobody out. Yeah, we had a sack bunt on. We probably were going to just try it one time, but it was a pitch up and in. Never should have tried to bunt it. We're going to give him the green light after that, and, you know, he pops it up, and, you know, there you go. Let's see where we can go here. Look at that play.
Nice job defensively there, Coach. We'll let you get back to work. We appreciate you so very much.
Thank you, Coach.
See you.
Dave Van Horn, always kind to join us on the broadcast and share his insight. We already got the breakdown of Parker Coyle from the man himself, but 6'3", just shy of 200 pounds, a senior that is obviously, when he is on, very, very tough to hit, as the numbers would indicate.
Yeah, and the thing that really stands out to me is the 29 punch outs to only 4 walks. Strike thrower, as Coach Van Horn said, he's going to fill up the zone with his with all of his pitches. He's a guy that's a senior, veteran guy, and you're turning it over to him. You know it's going to be a bullpen day the rest of the way, and it helps you out when you got a play like Souza makes on that leadoff hitter out going to his right. Nice play, and you get that first hitter out.
Hard hit ground ball by Jason Torres, and that's got to be huge, not only for the Tide, but for that young man who had a really tough at bat before. He did get the bat off his shoulder on 2 sack bunt attempts and then a called third strike. That was different.
Something positive, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, you look at his career, and he has been a producer. I mean, his numbers throughout his career, you look up at the end of the year, and he's going to be into that probably 50 RBIs, and so that was a great job by him, and he finds that 6 hole and maybe get him going.
You saw the note on the screen, and a great one. First hit of the weekend. You know you haven't seen a lot of production. Sometimes you forget, though, that over the course of 2 games, the guy has not had a base hit, but that's a big one for him with 1 out. And now a man aboard for Alabama with Justin Osterhaus fisting that one foul back and out of play. Somebody made a nice grab. I didn't see it, but I could tell you from the reaction, somebody snared one nicely up in the seats. Had to be that fellow who's already shared the souvenir and says, now give it to somebody else. Well, that guy wants to look at it first. Everybody's seen a baseball, but rarely do you get to see one just as it's been in play.
Absolutely. It just means more when you get one in the seats, right?
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Greg Sankey, royalties on that. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out to Osterhaus, the left-handed hitter for the Crimson Tide. Left fielder for Alabama, and he hits this one to right field, but again, the wind's making it awfully tough to get one out of the yard today. That one was well struck, and having seen quite a few over the years, if those flags are not whipping in the wind or they're blowing another direction, this is very likely a 4-0 game.
Absolutely, and you know, I see that, and that kind of makes you feel like we've got the golf theme today with the Masters, and that reminds me of one of my tee shots where I really feel like I really got it, and it just doesn't go anywhere. You know?
Got it. There's a bunt attempt, rolling foul down the third base line by Kroberger, and it'll be strike 1.
Because that wind it's knocking everything down to right field.
Fastball away.
You know, Chris, looking at the Alabama lineup today, and you know, we look at Alabama's got 4 freshmen in there today. When you look at Upchurch and then the 3 position players, and it's like this is going to end this inning.
It is indeed. We'll let you come back to that thought. 6-3 put out does it for Bama. Scoreless 4th. We head to the 5th with Bama on top. Bama as we go to the top half of inning number 5 along with Alan Dunn. I'm Chris Stewart. We're joined now by the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. Coach, we appreciate you joining us, especially after we have kind of been the bad luck charm, if you will. Things have kind of gone south after we've talked to you, but I know you're trying to turn it around. Talk to me about the resiliency, though, of your team to continue to battle yesterday, doing so after the frustration of Friday, and even though it got away late, in a big way, they come right back and grab an early lead in this one.
Yeah, man, I mean, Friday really set up exactly how you want it. You know, a 3-1 lead into the 8th with Matty Heiberger in the game. If you'd have told me that we could have just started the game that way, I'd have said, let's roll. And unfortunately, they got us, you know, and came back. And then yesterday, you got got a lead in those middle innings, and just game got away from us there. You know, in the 8th and 9th, we gave up obviously 10 in the last 2 innings. You ain't gonna win when you do that. So, but man, like it's what we talked about. You know, when you look at the stuff and the frustration and the struggles of early in the season and some of that, man, it calluses you for days like today. And every one of these wins in this league, every coach will tell you they're big. And so find a way to flush it and just come out and play good baseball today. And we know how long the way we got here. But, man, guys, Braun, obviously a big 2-out hit there. Some young pups taking some good swings. Miles Upchurch just being mature, first and second, nobody out. Just executing pitches and holding them to a 0. So been a good start, but we know we got a heck of a long way to go.
Yeah, Coach, real quick, and we'll let you get back. But just you kind of hit on Miles. Just kind of tell me what you see right now. Again, a little deeper in depth of his demeanor and kind of how he's attacking the zone today.
I've kind of bragged on that with Miles all along, like results, kind of independent of results, man. It's just such a mature kid for a freshman, you know, and he's had some outings this year where he sprayed the ball a little bit and didn't have great command and still settled in and made pitches in big spots, you know. And, man, I thought you go first and second on 2 plays that should be made after a run after 2 frustrating days. So easy for a young pup to kind of melt on Kojal, man. I thought he stuck a heater in there 2-2 and got balled, didn't phase him, and just kept executing pitches. So it's just mature beyond his years, man. That's my favorite part of him. He's going to continue to get better every time he goes out there. The stuff will get better, all that. But the maturity and just the poise for a young pup is not normal. So proud he's on our side, I can tell you that.
A lot to ask for him to keep it at 1 hit for another inning or 2, but what's the best case plan for him today in terms of how deep he goes in this one?
Yeah, man, I think obviously these games are huge, right? Like, I mean, he's built up to go as deep as he can. That's all going to be independent on how he throws the baseball. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to, you know, go no hits the rest of the way here, no freebies the rest of the way. I'm not saying that. But, man, as long as he looks good and feels good, we're going to keep running him out there. And, you know, what you don't want to do, shoot, I sit on the other side. And, shoot, it was like when Hunter Dietz was in the game on Friday. If the coaches on the other side start to get excited when you take a guy out of the game,
yeah.
You don't want to take that guy out of the game, man. So as long as he feels good and keeps going, we're going to keep riding him. So been a great start, but heck of a long way to go here.
Rob, thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it
boys.
so much. Rob Vaughn, head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, just like Dave Van Horn, very generous to join us. We know how this works. There are obligations with the SEC Network to join us, but that's not really what they would prefer to do during the game. But they're kind to give us not only their time, but give us great insight in the time that they are with us. Looking at what happened for Miles Upchurch last week at Oklahoma, 4 2/3 today after just 3 innings last week, and man, that was a game where you knew you were going to catch everything from Oklahoma as they were trying to get a series win. Bama got the victory though and able to claim it, but to see him bounce back as that one's hit off the end of the bat and drops in for just the 2nd hit of the day, nonetheless so effective to this point in the ball game.
And the biggest stat on that line that we saw is last week in 3 1/3, or 3 innings, 5 walks. Today 4 2/3, 0 walks, 6 punches. This week to 2. But the biggest thing is you look at that number there. He hasn't been giving free bases away. He's at 60% strike percentage, and he is really at this point. That was the 2nd hit, and a lot of times 2-out singles don't beat you.
Robinette fooled badly on that pitch, and he's down 0-1. He's only seen 2 pitches, and he hasn't had the best of offerings. A bunt with 2 on and nobody out. It turned out to be a bunted pop out. And now he's down in this count 0-2.
And that tells you right there a little bit about Upchurch's command. That first pitch was a slider that he got in more towards the belt, bottom of the back knee, and now he backdoors a slider or a curveball to get up 0-2. He is really working he's really using all the plate, and then you get a weak swing on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that can end the inning.
Get the out in the inning. Mr. Upchurch, just a Sunday stroll as the Tide leads it 2-0. Second inning, Miles Upchurch gets out of a jam with some big pitches, holding the Hogs off the scoreboard. And then the Tide putting together some big swings, scoring a run in the second inning. Justin LeBron crossing. And then after this misplay from Pompey, the base hit by LeBron adds to the Alabama advantage. Pretty good ball game, as has been the case to this point each of the first 2 days. But now we'll see if it stays with the script of the first two. Rob Vaughn hoping for a much different ending, though. His team losing each of the last two ball games, with Arkansas putting together 16 runs combined in the 8th and 9th innings in 2 days. Alabama now hoping they can add a little insurance and nail things down a little bit more in the back half on the Hill.
27 outs, Chris. You have to find a way to get them. Alabama, as we talked about on Friday, great job for the first 7. Kind of faltered there at the end. Then yesterday it got away from them. But listen, you got to play hard for 27. And I love the approach today, again, from what Alabama's come out in the offensive. They're getting some results up and down the lineup. Either guys moving the ball at certain times, or going first to third, playing aggressive, and then you get the big knock. So it's still a 2-0 game. We're a long way from being over.
Lefty-lefty matchup as the top of the order, and Bryce Fowler stands in. Down to the count, of 1 and 2 strikes. Another good cut, but fouled off again, and the count will stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. You see what Fowler has done as of late, man. Last 3 to 4 weeks, awfully big for that young man after a bit of a slow start. Swing and a miss right there on a nasty sweeping breaking ball from the left-hander Parker Coyle.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch from Coyle, as we see. Just that disappearing down and away glove side, kind of a top to bottom action. That's a tough left on left at bat after he had climbed the ladder on the heater to change his eye plane. Then he comes back down, sweeps it down and away, and that's a tough at bat. And he gets the leadoff hitter with a punch out.
Little chopper right side, fielded by the first baseman, but anticipating the arrival of the second baseman, threw it ahead of him, got away, and Alabama with good base running from Brennan Holt, able to get 2 bags out of what likely was going to be just an out at first.
And look at this perfectly placed drag bunt out of the box in that no man's land in between the first baseman and the pitcher. They didn't communicate. Second baseman couldn't get over there. And now look at Holt with the instincts to go to second. That's what I love about what he brings to this team, and he can do so many things. And now you move him up in the second hole and he can do things like that. Now you got another runner in scoring position with Brady Neal at the dish.
Neal handling the catching duties today, in addition to trying to keep his hot hitting alive. He's 0 for 2 today. See the 7 homers in the .358 season average. Good eye there to get ahead in the count, 2-0.
And I think if you're Arkansas in this count with Neal up, even though it's left on left, you are not conceding to him. You're going to pitch him tough, even with a 2-0, or especially with a 2-0 count and first base open. But you have LeBron on deck. So, you know, it's kind of pick your poison, so to speak. And LeBron, you kind of sense that him starting to maybe break out a little bit. But this is the at-bat, if you're Arkansas, that you've circled in this game. Like, you got to make pitches right now.
Here's a nice breaking ball to get the count to 2-1. And again, a lot of confidence to throw that pitch. 2-0, although I would imagine with first base open, a walk is not the worst thing in the world.
Absolutely.
If you're Coyle.
You've got to pitch him really, really tough in this situation. I just don't think that they're giving. Hey, listen, you make a pitcher's pitch. This is what's called command. Control and command. Control is just throwing the ball across the 17-inch white thing, being the plate. Command is throwing it in locations where you have the hitter to have much more difficult time making a good swing on it.
Little chopper foul.
I think with him punching out Fowler to lead off this inning with that hard sweeping slider, I'm sure he wants to try to get that same location here with Neal with 2 strikes, because that is his put-away pitch.
A man at second, 1 gone, 2-2, swung on and tipped, but held on to on a great play by the outstanding catcher, Ryder Helfrich.
That's a great job of pitching by Coyle, and he came right back with a heater. Maybe a little more like a cutter that had some juice right at the end. Nice swing by Neal, just couldn't catch up to it. That's a great job by Coyle with a runner in scoring position with one of the hottest hitters up to make a pitch. And now you're going to put LeBron on, which obviously is you circle guys. When you're doing a scouting report, Chris, coming into a game, you're going to circle guys that guy is not going to beat us. And even though LeBron has had his ups and downs, you're still a guy that you're not going to let walk out of here and saying that guy got us.
Especially since he's already had a big run scoring hit with 2 outs in this game. And the ups in the last few at-bats have been far more than the downs.
And you got a freshman.
2 runners going, and a great jump for both men for Alabama. Holt from second to third, and obviously LeBron from first to second. There's no throw, and that is big for the Tide now, potentially with 2 out. 2 in scoring position for Hines. Takes a breaking ball to get ahead 2-0. Now that first base is open, are you a little surprised given the success of Hines? Oh, I was about to ask.
Yeah,
would they walk him?
And you got Purdy coming up, who's a lefty. So again, another freshman. You got back-to-back freshmen in the lineup. I'm going to take my strength, which Coyle is my senior pitcher. I feel like he's got enough command that, hey, I don't think the walk comes into. I'm not worried about him giving up the base. He's only given up 4 walks, so it's going to be me and the pitcher against the hitter, and I'm going to take my chances of who do I want to face, and obviously they made the decision, and it's going to be Coyle against Purdy.
Purdy, a good hit, a good at bat, I should say, his last time up, or his first at bat, excuse me, an RBI single in the second, but he grounded out in the 4th. Boy, did he have a cut, but could not connect. And the count's 1-1. Didn't get cheated.
No, hey, that's when they love these freshmen coming up, and they have come when they've gotten their opportunities, they've come to the plate trying to do some damage with their swings, especially with 2 outs.
Just off the plate, even though Helfrich tried to sneak it back in the zone. David Savage wasn't buying it. The count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. What are you looking for here?
If I'm Purdy, I am center cut. I've got to get something that I can do some damage with. I'm looking for that center cut fastball, which I don't think Coyle, because his main pitch is that variation cutter 4-seamer.
Little chopper to the right side should get the Hogs out of it, and it does, as Bama leaves them loaded. Good job by Coyle, avoiding any further damage. Still, though, a 2-0 Bama lead going to the 6th.
best conference tournament in all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover.
The SEC tournament outside of Omaha itself, you will not find any tougher competition than what occurs when the league's teams come together for a week at Hoover Metropolitan Stadium to determine the postseason champ. May have a regular season champ, may have a tournament champ, and then a third team that could win the whole kit and caboodle when it's said and done. This one hit to left by Rutenbar, but settling under it, making the grab for out number one is Osterhaus for the Tide. As we look at these numbers, Georgia right now a 2-game advantage over both Texas and Texas A&M. Alabama, just a weekend of success back from the Dogs. Florida right there as well, and a whole bunch of other teams that are still very much in the conversation.
Chris, we see that those numbers there with the standings, and I'll tell you, there's one thing that has jumped out at me this season going into this first half of the conference play is there is a potential going into today's game, if the teams that were leading the series were to sweep today, that would be 15 sweeps on the season. That's something that I've never heard of in the SEC. So it just tells you the parity. It tells you the one weekend that you're hitting on all cylinders, and then you play a team that maybe is a little down, and now all of a sudden they turn it around. It's just, I mean, listen, as Coach Vaughn said, winning games and collecting wins in this league is you just have to get them whenever you can.
There's a fly ball hit to deep right center field, and that's going to get off the wall. Helfrich pulling in at second. No, he's going to dig for third. Here comes the throw. It's off the mark, and Helfrich with a one-out triple as the Hogs once again threaten the Crimson Tide.
Well, you knew at some point, Helfrich, as we look at this swing again, he's got such tremendous juice. Fastball going away. Look at that swing, the power and the quickness of the bat to stay on it. Drives it off the wall. You knew at some point, I mean, you look at him coming into this game, he'd only had one hit in this series, and he is just too good of a hitter to contain a whole series. And now you're up, Church. You'd love to get a punch out in this situation.
Instead, you're going to get a line out to deep right field. New able to drill that one to right for the second out, but plenty deep enough to score the game's first run for the Razorbacks, and they cut the Bama lead in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game.
And Chris, just to touch on that particular at bat. Okay, you got a runner on third. You got one out after a triple. Upchurch job at that point is you want to minimize from a big number being created, and sometimes when that happens you start trying to do more than you can really do, and you get yourself out of whack. Hey, he gave up the run, but now you got 2 outs and you still have the lead. That's a great job of pitching.
So 2 out now with nobody aboard, and Kojal standing in, takes the breaking ball low, and it's 2-0. This is an interesting at bat right here for Upchurch, who has not faced much adversity today. 6 strikeouts, no walks. Little chopper, and the young man battles back from giving up his first run to get it out, and the Hogs are done. But as we hit the bottom of the 6th inning, it's now a 2-1 Alabama advantage. 2-1 ball game as the Hogs scratch in the 6th inning. Bama's out hit the Hogs 5-3. But the 2-1 advantage for Alabama, very similar to what we've had. And the Razorbacks hoping for a similar finish, and hoping also that Gabe Gackle, the junior right-hander from California, can keep things right where they are.
Gabe Gackle, this is one of their go-to guys. Been in the rotation. They decided to make the move for him to go to the pen this weekend. He was in the pen last year, at 7 saves last year out of the bullpen. I'm sorry, in 2024, he was a freshman All-American, pitching out of the pen, 7 saves with 57 punch-outs. Goes in the rotation, has 99 starts in 25. In the rotation this year, he is a guy that he's one of the top arms in this league. He's got plus fastball, 92 to 95, a power 12-6 curveball that is his swing and miss pitch. Alabama's seen him, however. They saw him on Friday night. His command was a little erratic, and they were able to get on him a little bit. So Arkansas is going all in with the guys that they trust, and this is definitely one of those guys.
Jason Torres got a base hit his last time up, much needed. It was his first in this weekend series against the Razorbacks. The Bama third baseman leading things off here in this frame. Good cut, but comes up empty as the right-hander Gackle just pulled the string on that one. Here's an off speed that misses away, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Alabama defensively. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors committed by the Hogs. The 1-1. Another breaking ball that eludes the bat of Torres.
And that is his signature pitch. You look at his career, 2024 through 2026, 150 innings pitched. He struck out 190 guys in those 150. So he has swing and miss stuff.
Reach back for a little something extra on that fastball at 95, but Torres laid off, and the count evens at 2-2. Alabama with single runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Arkansas just scored in the top half of this 6th inning. Same pitch as the previous one. Same velo at 95. This one was 0.2, the other was 0.4. But both missed the mark. Now it's a full count to Torres. And he fights that one off, getting it into the air, but it's going to be very playable. Despite the wind playing some tricks with it. Nice job by Rutenbar in right for the first out. Let me ask you, that's an out, but we talk about quality at bats, and normally if you get 5 pitches plus thrown to you, especially if you're the first hitter against a new pitcher.
Absolutely.
Granted, they've seen film, they saw him live 2 days ago, but it's got to be a help to the next guy up in Osterhaus, isn't it?
Yes, and I think if you look at right now, you watch that at bat that Torres had against Gackle, you see immediately what he feels comfortable throwing. He threw 2 fastballs in that account, and he pulled both of those to glove side. He didn't feel really confident with his heater, but he went back to the breaking ball, 3-2 count. So if you're Osterhaus, you almost have to be looking and saying, hey, what's he going to come out me with? And then you see like that, it's going to be a lot of pitches like that.
Unbelievable play at second base by Souza, but the throw's not quite in time. I thought that was a base hit the whole way, and it turns out it is, but it was a lot more questionable.
Look how far he had to go, so far, and just full extension, and had the wherewithal to be able to get up and make a strong throw. But hey, we talked about these guys running everything out, and Osterhaus made him get up quickly, but he beats the throw, and that's a great job of getting on with 1 out.
Kroberger now standing in, and he takes a beautiful breaking ball for strike one. Another gorgeous day in Tuscaloosa. A few wispy clouds that just add to the landscape on a gorgeous afternoon. Here's another strike. Yep, there's a few clouds, but there's no rain in those. Just a little bit of God's handiwork on the canvas.
Oh, absolutely. And how good does this well, the whole field, but the outfield is immaculate. I mean,
playing surface.
It is just amazing that the job this grounds crew is doing. And listen, you get a lot of play on these fields, and trying to keep them watered and cut, and just all the stuff that goes into it. It just, sometimes we just think we show up and it's like this, but that's not the case.
0-2, and again the throw to first, trying to keep Osterhaus close to the bag. And I know 7 of 8 on stolen bases, by the way, this year.
And I know, Chris, you've been in this league for so long, and you've seen all the fields throughout the SEC. And as we look at this right here,
could be 2. Field was too good right there, as it provided a nice clean bounce for the third baseman, Poppy, but they're only able to get the force out at second base. Wasn't hit quite hard enough, and you also have a man in Kroberger that runs really well.
Yeah, and back to that point of just how the stadiums and the fields have progressed over the years, and the stadiums, and it's truly amazing. Well, as I look back.
That's the key, is their stadiums. You played at Alabama, it was a field, and it is truly a stadium that is on par with any other. It's the beauty of baseball. You got to have 4 bases, but everything else, dimensions and all of that are so unique at different parks. And this is one that, frankly, Alabama was lacking for many, many years. Even once they built the stadium, it wasn't this. And with all the amenities that are involved here, this is a great, great home for the Tide. Base hit to right field by Bryce Fowler, as the top of the order is rolled back around for Alabama, and that one will allow Osterhaus to go from first to third, and Kroberger to go from first to third. And the Tide's got him on the corners with 1 gone.
Great seeing Fowler get this swing right here. Fastball, middle. Look at that swing, staying on plane. Great exit velocity off the bat. Kroberger goes first to third. And great job to see Fowler, who's only had 1 hit in this series. But that's a veteran guy. He's not going to let 1 at-bat go to the next at-bat. Gets a huge at-bat right there to put runners at the corners, and a 2-1 ball game.
Off speed in there for a strike. Brennan Holt. Bama second baseman. Taking that one inside. He's reached safely twice today. A single his last time up. He drew a walk in the third, grounded out in the first. 2 out. Men at first and third. And a 1-1 count. That one is lined towards center field, but it's going to stay in the air long enough for it to be tracked down by New. So the Hogs keep Alabama just 1 run ahead. 2-1 game going to the 7th. Miles Upchurch, the freshman for the Crimson Tide, outstanding today. He's thrown 82 pitches. Almost all of them have eluded the bats of the Razorbacks. He's given up just 3 hits. How's he done it, partner?
You look at that, Chris. Look at those 2 numbers. 0 walks, 6 punch-outs, 82 pitches. He's pitching 63% strikes. He's gotten the leadoff hitter out 5 out of 6 innings. He has stayed strong throughout this whole ball game. But now you're getting to that point as he sees that double down the line right here, possibly.
It will be 2 bases for Damian Ruiz. Swinging on the first pitch and chopping it down the left side. That's, again, veteran hitters understanding that he's going to try to get ahead early on.
Just looks like it was a fastball that just had some elevation, and Ruiz is a veteran hitter. He pulls it down the line, so you're probably getting into that part of the ball game now. He has done such a phenomenal job. You're probably going to go hitter to hitter with Upchurch. I mean, his stuff is still very good, and he's still throwing strikes, but he's probably going to play matchups at some point in this part of the game.
Eloy at the plate as Ashton Crowther is starting to throw in the Alabama bullpen. Crowther 6'3", 215, a lefty in his 4th year out of Trinity, Florida. He's got some experience in this league at South Carolina. He also started down at the University of Miami.
You know, Chris, and that may be one of those situations that this is the hitter that they're going to give Upchurch to get. And then you might think, because you're going to have left-on-left situation, you may make that move. But getting this out right now with a runner at second and nobody out, this is a huge get that first out, and then you can kind of pick how you want to pitch the rest of this inning.
There's a fastball strike and a snap throw down to second, not quite in time. See, at the base runner, Eloy did not agree with the call from plate umpire David Savage.
That was such a quality pitch. That's command. He was able to get that ball to the bottom of the zone, to the outer third of the plate. Now you're looking for your punch out.
Breaking ball there, just misses up, and now we're going to have a 3-2 offering that is due. This is a big pitch, obviously, in this game, but also determining how much more we're going to see of Miles Upchurch, as he is now around the 90 pitch mark. Chopper foul left side. And I believe the next offering will be his 90th of the day.
He's obviously getting in that area as a coach, but still, it's not just set necessarily the number. Hey, how is he pitching?
Right.
Is he in control? How much has he had to work? So it's not just a pitch count, it's execution. And right now, this is the 3-2 pitch that you really, if he makes this pitch, what a feather in his cap.
Just missed outside, and that's a heck of an at-bat from Eloy. Takes a lot of patience to lay off that one, and it was the right call as it just missed away. But sometimes very tough to not unload or attempt to. Pitching coach Jason Jackson coming out to talk things over.
And one of the situations, Chris, that could possibly you look at here, okay, it's first and second, obviously nobody out, bunt situation. Now, could you do you let Upchurch stay in there? Very good athlete to maybe make the play or get the out on the bunt, or do you go immediately to your left-on-left situation? I think that there's obviously a couple of ways that you can play this. It looks like him being out there that long, he's going to go to the pin, and he is.
That is the case, and it will be the left-hander Ashton Crowther who will get the nod. We'll tell you more about him, and we'll see what the lefty can do when we come back. 2-1 game, but the Hogs trying to change that. Miles Upchurch, great outing. 6 innings, 4 hits, a run, a walk, 6 strikeouts, the 90 pitches, a career best, and those 6 strikeouts, I think the best that he's had in league play, at least anyway.
You know, you look at this young man, what an outstanding performance. Your team loses 2 games, one on Friday, one on Saturday. You're really behind the 8 ball. You're trying to find a way to get a win. And here's a young man that hasn't had the most success in the SEC. Comes out today, poised, fills up the strike zone, no walk, or 1 walk, which I think it was kind of a 3-2 count. He just missed. And just he grew up today, and I guarantee you he's obviously feels good about keeping his team in the game, and that's what you're trying to do when you're a starting pitcher. Give your team a chance, and he did that and more, and now you turn it to Crowther to see if he can't be able to get out of this inning.
So with Austin Crowther, the junior lefty out of Trinity, Florida, taking over on the hill, he will face Nolan Souza. Bama expecting bunt, playing in on the corners. And Tide tried to get Souza to tip his hand, but did not show anything as they bluffed that throw to second. Now the first offering, shows bunt, misses. The last time Arkansas was in this situation, Robinette popped out on a bunt attempt on the very first pitch that he saw.
And you know, Coach Van Horn talked to us about this, that hey, he was going to give him 1 chance to bunt, then he was going to put the green light on. So do you go back to that, or do you trust Souza? Looks like they're going to trust him to get the ball down unless they
bunts that one foul. Guess we got our answer.
We did.
At least through 2 pitches, but more than likely going to swing away with 2 strikes.
You would think. You know, we've talked about Crowther. He's done a very nice job in his role here at coming out of the bullpen in his 10 appearances. He's been effective coming in, being able to make that pitch to get out of innings, and unless he comes in a tough situation, first and second, and nobody out in a 2-1 game, but he's done a great job of getting ahead. You'd love to see him get that punch out, or maybe a ground ball in the infield. You turn it over, but something positive to get that first or maybe 2 outs in on this pitch.
No balls and 2 strikes. Fastball just missed up. The home umpires, also known as the crowd, thought that it was strike 3. They don't get the vote. 1-2. Grounded back up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. 1 run will score, and we've got a tie ball game at 2 apiece. Thought for a moment LeBron was going to get to that one.
I did too, and just a great job of hitting. Looks like it's a slider, and great job by Souza. 2 strikes. All you're looking to do is move the ball. He stayed balanced right back up through the middle, and I'm with you. I thought LeBron might have a chance, but it took that little hop when it got to the dirt and found its way through. And now you need to try to minimize.
That's what happened in the 8th and 9th innings yesterday. Things just got away from Alabama. Frankly, did so in the 8th inning on Friday night as well. A 6-run frame that took the Hogs from down 3-1 to up 7-3. Fastball misses low, and the count evens at 1-1 to TJ Pompey.
you just need to find a way to get an out right now. Just one out to kind of settle things down. It's kind of spinning a little bit as you look at the Arkansas offense. You need to try to find one way to get an out and then go pitch from there.
Good cut from Pompey, but a great pitch by the left-hander. Crowther has got it to a ball and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss and a huge strikeout for the Bama lefty to get the first out of the frame. Now in a spot where a grounder right at somebody could get you out of the inning.
Look at this pitch. Slider gets down to that back right knee. Very difficult pitch. You do anything with that, you're going to hit it foul. And fortunately, Crowther gets the punch out. And now you just go to, you're going to pitch hitter by hitter right now. And it is going to be a pinch hitter right now.
Yep, lifting Robinette to go with a right-hander. Alexander Peck will get the swing of the bat. First time we've called his name this weekend. Check that, I'm sorry. He went 0 for 3 yesterday. First time I've called his name. I didn't work yesterday's game. This is a grounder up the middle, fielded by LeBron. Steps on the bag, fires to first, and there's that double play ball that we were looking for. So the Tide minimizes the damage, but the Razorbacks are able to score the game-tying run. Stretch time at the Joe. Twin Killing keeps it at 2-2. No, that's not Alan Dunn dancing the Cotton Eye Joe here at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Big tradition as we have the 7th inning stretch in Tuscaloosa. I'm Chris Stewart with the aforementioned and not dancing Mr. Dunn, former player on Alabama's national runner-up team in 1983 and highly successful pitching coach in the conference during his time at LSU. Saw Omaha a bunch. Pretty awesome time as that first pitch by Brady Neal is hammered into right field for a leadoff base hit for the Crimson Tide, and the Bama catcher able to stroke the single, which has been really good at the plate all weekend.
He does. Look again, look at the balanced flat bat. He is seeing the ball so well. He has all season, and what a great guy to have leading off your inning after you got out of a top of the 7th jam, and you got your big money guy leading off the inning, and he produces, and now you're in the middle of the lineup with your star at the dish.
Fastball strike to Justin LeBron, who has reached 3 times today. That in and of itself huge for the Crimson Tide, giving his struggles lately. Hammers that one down the line, and that is going to create trouble for the Hogs. It bounds around in the corner, and with nobody out, the Tide will play it conservative and keep Neal right at third base, but it's another double for Justin LeBron, his second of the day, to go with a sac bunt and a walk.
Slider, cutter that did not get down to the outside part of the plate. And listen, when he has such quick hands that when he's going good, he's not missing those pitches. And that ball, I don't know what the exit velocity was, but it had to have been over 100. Drives it down the left field line. The Tide's got something going right now.
And Brady Neal had a little something going, and that's why Sean Stryker wants to come out, the athletic trainer, along with head coach Rob Vaughn, to talk to him. That's another key piece of the puzzle for the Crimson Tide. We heard the place grow silent yesterday when LeBron went down on a defensive play out at short. And Brady Neal, who's such a vital part offensively, but also your starting catcher today as well. And let's see. He is going to stay.
You know, he was going hard all the way from first to third on that play. And,
yeah.
You know, he's had a few nagging things. You know, had some things in the fall that kind of kept him out. So you don't know if it was just checking on him or really what's going on. But I guarantee you, you'd have to get a dump truck to get him out of this game right now.
So runners at second and third, nobody out, and the freshman Eric Hines at the plate. The right-handed hitter from here in Tuscaloosa. Great cut, but came up empty. And the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Single, a pop out, and a walk for the right-handed hitter as Gabe Gackle works from the windup. Swing and a miss. A nasty breaking ball at 85 miles per hour.
And that's the pitch that's probably given him the most difficult in his early part of his career, which there's a lot of guys they're not going to hit that pitch. But now they're going to bring the infield in. You're looking for something that you can keep in the infield or get a punch out.
Takes that breaking ball outside. Gackle tried to get him to reach for it.
I will be shocked if you see anything other than that hard breaking ball down in the dirt. Something that you want a guy to try to get him to chase.
2-2. Same spot, same result, and it's now a full count.
First base open, and him hitting the ball over the scoreboard on Friday night, I don't see him getting a heater right here.
Maybe the same pitch, third straight time, just try to hone it in. Boy, reared back, and it was the slider, and he did make him miss, and that is a huge first out for the Hogs.
And this is what Gackle can do. We talked about the number of punch outs that he's had in his career. Listen, 84 to 85 mile an hour slider with really tight spin on the outer side part of the plate. Great pitch to get that first out.
Alabama's going to talk things over. May have a pinch hitter called on here, or we're just going to see a conversation. Andrew Purdy, the left-handed hitting first baseman, is due up.
And Chris, this is the situation that looks like he is going to pinch hit for Purdy.
Yeah, Luke Vaughn, who's another first baseman, gets a lot of starts, and here's where you're going with the guy that maybe you just trust in this situation, because you would have had a lefty-righty matchup, but going against conventional wisdom here, Rob Vaughn's going to go with a right-handed batter against the righty on the hill.
And with listen, we've seen Coach Vaughn do this all season long. Is situations like this, he's not afraid to have that safety squeeze just to try to get a run sometimes. And now you do have Vaughn, who has 6 homers on the year, .218 batting average, but he can handle the bat. So I think he gives you a lot of options if you're Coach Vaughn, that how do you want to play this?
Vaughn does have 1 sack bunt on the year. And again, you want something to the outfield, or you want something on the ground to the right side. But preferably not right at that first baseman who's only standing 60 feet away.
If you're the first baseman, right?
That's right. And with the old infield in, I guess that's out the window as well, of there being a great place to hit it. A nice breaking ball at 83. Drops in for strike 1.
And listen, they're not afraid. Rob Vaughn's not afraid, even with, you know, obviously with 1 strike, but he's not afraid with 2 strikes either. He's going to do whatever he thinks it takes to get this run to separate the 2-2 game.
That one is popped up a mile high. Foul territory. Is it going to stay in play? No. And a break for the Tide, as that one was only about 10 feet away from being very playable for the third baseman for the Razorbacks. And Pompey just ran out of room.
And this is why Gackle, in this situation, that they want him in the game, because he has swing and miss arsenal to get the punch out, which would be key in this situation.
And there he gets it on 3 pitches. Vaughn goes down. And now the infield can drop back to regular depth.
It's a cutter that stays higher than high. Hitter sees it, just can't get on top of it. And again, kudos to Gackle, because when you have the ability to make hitters swing and miss, obviously negative things can't happen defensively. And now you need to see if he can make a pitch here to Torres.
Good cut, fouled it back, and the count sits at 0-1. Torres with a base hit earlier. His only one of the weekend. Tide would love to see the veteran deliver a second one right here.
And we've seen him do it, Chris, so many times in this situation, to be able to drive in runs.
Fastball just misses off the plate. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2-2 game. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Bama's out hit the Hogs 9-5. Haven't been able to separate themselves. 2-1. Left fielder Justin Osterhaus waiting in the on-deck circle. 3 balls and a strike. Reached back for a little something extra and slipped on that 96-mile-per-hour fastball. And so now it's 3-1.
And I got to believe you're going to get that 3-1. His pitch that he's used the whole inning to get out has been that cutter slash slider kind of combination. I just don't see that he's coming with something to give Torres a.
Right on the money, Coach. 85 on the cutter there.
And you're going to probably see it again, right? 3-2, base open, 2 outs. What's your money pitch? And for him, it's that slider cutter. Unless he tries to elevate a heater up out of the zone.
Tried to get him to chase, wouldn't do it. And they are loaded up. And here comes Osterhaus. Batting .236 on the year coming in. Today he's 1 for 3 with a base hit. Did that in his last at bat in the 6th. So to do a double play and had a fly out to right. Still 2 gone, but the bases are loaded. And that one misses just a tad up and perhaps off the plate as well. 1-0. Same spot, same call.
And really, if you're Osterhaus right now, we have not seen Gackle be able to throw his fastball at all for strike. I mean, you can really sit on one pitch here because and you know what's coming. I mean, he's going to go to his money pitches, and he's used that slider.
That was a fastball that's popped up. Shallow left, could be trouble, but coming in and making the play is Ruiz for the out. So Arkansas avoids damage and keeps us deadlocked at 2 through 7. Fill in your own joke as we welcome you back to Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa. 2-2 ball game. Top of the 8th, which has been absolute gold for Dave Van Horn's Razorbacks. Friday, 5 hits, produced 6 runs in the 8th, 5 runs on 5 hits, including 3 homers on Saturday in this 8th frame. Tie game. And the left-hander, Ashton Crowther, working his 2nd inning on the hill. Relief of Miles Upchurch, who won't factor into the decision despite a great outing. 1-0, line towards center, but right there to make the play is Bryce Fowler for out number 1.
And this is about spot on for this league, is the teams that can win these 2 and 1 run games at this point of the game are the teams that obviously propel themselves on to postseason play and so forth. But this is what prepares you when you get in postseason play, when you've played so many games like this, that you are weathered, so to speak, as you get into the postseason.
1 ball, no strikes to Ryder Helfrich. A dozen homers. Coming into the series, he had homered in 7 of his previous 10 games. Takes that one low. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
And Helfrich is, you look at those numbers, 7 homers in the last 12 games, but this guy does it on both sides of the ball. He is such an athletic catcher. He can run, obviously got arm strength, calls the game, blocks balls. I know scouts are really salivating on getting him in at the next level.
Ahead 3-0. He tripled his last time up. That was in the 6th, and he would come in to score the Hogs' first run. That made it 2-1 at the time, and then they tied it up in the 7th. The 3-0. Downstairs, ball 4. Alabama with activity in its bullpen once more. Got a righty and a lefty up and throwing. Hagan Banks is throwing. And also Matthew Heiberger. Top righty and top lefty in the pen, both getting ready to go on a Sunday. One ball, no strikes. A man at first, one out here in the Razorback eighth. Here's a strike. Even things up. First pitch that has found the strike zone in this inning. Micah New, the center fielder, has a sac fly to his credit today. 1-1 pitch. Bounces in there. Good job laying off of it, as the count goes to 2-1. Heiberger at first. Excuse me, Helfrich at first. Got a little speed. He's 5 of 6 in stolen bases. That one is belted, but into the teeth of that wind. Going back at the warning track and making the grab is Fowler for out number 2. I got a feeling that either Friday or Saturday, that's a round tripper, but you can throw knowing that you've got that wind as a backstop for you almost, can't you?
Absolutely, and that was a center cut fastball, and he got on it really good. It barely got to the track, but I'm with you, man. That's, as Coach Van Horn pointed that out early on, that Alabama hit some balls hard like that. They've hit a couple of balls, but hey, sometimes the elements play for you and sometimes they play against you.
2 out, they got him picked off, and then it's dropped. Vaughn dropped it, and that'll be an error on the Alabama first baseman, I believe. And that is a huge miscue, as we had defensive blunders Friday and Saturday as well that led to big innings.
And everything was done right. They guessed right, had him picked. He stepped inside the throwing lane, and he just dropped it, couldn't handle it.
Now let's see if the Hogs can take advantage with Camden Kojal at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the left-handed hitter.
And we saw Kojal on Friday night go oppo on that left-on-left with Heiberger, so he has juice.
Chops this one inside the bag and down the line at first. It will score the go-ahead run as Kojal will drop anchor at second with a 2-out RBI double. And while they didn't give Alabama an error on that previous play, the drop by Vaughn, that error, or mistake, I'll say, since it wasn't an error officially, does indeed lead to the go-ahead run in the top of the 8th inning.
You know, when you give extra outs, and we've already talked, 27 are hard to get anyway, and when you're giving extra outs, especially against a veteran team like Arkansas, but now you really, if you're Crowther, you have to be able to punt, eliminate that from your mind and get out of this thing with only 1, because you can't let this thing open up on you, which has happened the last 2 ball games, right?
And Alabama has scored some runs late the last 2 days. It just hadn't been enough. Drop in the bucket compared to what the Hogs have done. It wasn't enough to create a comeback. Yeah, it's not as if they haven't had any offense, but you gotta keep them within sight.
Yeah, when you're looking at a 5, 6, 7 run deficit, I mean that wears on you offensively. But keeping this thing at a 3-2 game is so critical right now. He's got 2 strikes on him to do it.
And that one's going to hit the batter. The only positive is that it keeps the runner at second base, but man, you were ahead 0-2 against Ruiz, and you give him the base. Kahio Aloy will stand in now.
And who was one of the stalwarts of their team last year in the DH position. I think he was all conference as the DH, as he hit multiple home runs throughout the season. He has, tremendous power, gap power, home run power. This is not the guy you want to see up in this situation.
Breaking ball, belt ties, strike called. It's 0-1. So again, Alabama trying to minimize the damage. They've out-hit the Hogs 9-6 today. But a miscue defensively and a timely double down the line has given the Hogs a 3-2 advantage. Little chopper out to short. Gobbled up there, and the throw to first picked out nicely by Vaughn on the throw from LeBron. But the Hogs regain the lead. Third straight frame. They put one across. They lead it going to the bottom of the 8th. Much like my work in school, the math just doesn't add up. But it is Arkansas with a 3-2 lead, despite being out-hit 9-6, and despite committing one more error than the Crimson Tide. Bama did get some work done in the second. A base hit to right, scored Justin LeBron, and then LeBron delivered an RBI single with 2 outs in the third. Bama's been pretty quiet since then, but the Razorbacks were able to tie it up with a base hit in the 7th, and then in the 8th inning, they were able to take advantage of this drop on a pickoff where they really had the catcher, Helfrich. The hit that followed gave the Razorbacks the go-ahead lead. And no, do not adjust your televisions. This is not Goose Gossage. It's Ethan McIlvain that's taking the hill for Arkansas.
You look at McIlvain on for the 11th time. Look at the stellar ERA. You look at the strikeouts per innings pitched. Alabama did get on him on Friday night. He had an inning pitch, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, and they were able to put good swings on him. And his thing is he's got great stuff. He's going to work mid-90s with his fastball, slider, cutter at 87, 88. He's the guy that they want to have the ball at the back end of the bullpen because he has electric stuff. But he can get erratic with his command. So if Alabama can make him work a little bit, maybe they can go deep in some counts and maybe get a pitch to do something with.
The younger portion of our viewing audience is going, who the heck is Goose Gossage? The older group is saying, yep, I see it. McIlvain dealing. And a good cut, but again coming up empty on the 95-mile-per-hour fastball is Chase Kroberger, right fielder today for the Tide. Another freshman in the lineup, only hitting a .125 coming into today. Could not connect with a fastball at 96 that was elevated. What does that put it at, about 99 when it rises like that?
Yeah, that's a tough hit. You see that pitch, top of the, it stays on plane at 96. You see it as a hitter, it looks like you can get it, but you can't most of the time. And if you do, you're probably going to pop it up. But this is what McIlvain does. He has closer stuff. He is a converted starter. He started his career at Vanderbilt as a starting pitcher. Transferred in here to Arkansas. They put him in the bullpen, and it's kind of matched up with his stuff and his pitchability and kind of how he likes to go at hitters. This has been a good thing for them in this role.
Breaking ball to Bryce Fowler in there for another strike, and he gets ahead of the Tide's leadoff man. 0-2. Lifts that one foul. Bama needs a spark. Offensively, they have been rather quiet since the third inning. They do have the 9 hits, as I said, but haven't been able to string them in the right order to add to their 2-run total. Breaking ball outside, and the count goes to 1-2. He doesn't get anything inside here, does he? Unless it's up and in.
No, I think he's, unless he climbs the ladder up, slider down and away. And there's that fastball to the top of the zone. This is his MO as McIlvain. That it's got such great ride. As you look at this pitch right here, over the top delivery, and the ball just stays on plane. Great rotation. It just stays on plane at 95, and that's a hard pitch to do something with.
So 2 gone now. And the senior transfer, Brennan Holt, will stand in, second baseman, who takes a called strike there. Holt with a single in the 5th, a walk in the 3rd. Those are sandwiched in between, a ground out and a line out. Fastball away, and the count evens at 1-1. Good cut, but only got a piece of it. Tapped foul. It's 1-2.
Chris, you could go home tonight and you could turn on the MLB and you could watch a guy come out of the bullpen. It would look just like this. I mean, 6'4", 235, power, extra velocity. I mean, this is what they look like when you do that.
This is off the plate there, and the count evens at 2-2. Two out, nobody aboard. 2-2 pitch, slap foul, as Holt stays alive.
And really not a lot of secrets. It's I'm coming at you. It's going to be hard, and hardest. And if I'm in the strike zone, it's going to be a tough bat at bat. And unfortunately for the Tide, he's been around the zone this whole inning with premium stuff.
2 out, 2-2 pitch. Way outside, it's 3-2.
Just love to get Brady Neal up in this situation.
Payoff is due to Holt. Checked his swing, but he went around. And 3 strikeouts from McIlvain. Get it done for the Hogs. We go to the 9th. Still 3-2 Razorbacks as the guys on the hill are getting it done.
Look at that fastball down and away. Punch out in the inning.
It's been a beautiful day in Tuscaloosa, but Bama's trying to avoid a third straight ugly ending over the weekend as the Crimson Tide trails Arkansas 3-2. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn. Razorbacks set to send the 7, 8, 9 spots in the order to the plate. Nolan Souza, second baseman, will stand in first to face Ashton Crowther. First pitch swinging, chops it over to the second baseman Holt, who fires to first in time. One pitch, one gone here in the Arkansas ninth.
Ashton Crowther has done a tremendous job coming on in a really tough situation with runners on base, and was able to get out of it, minimizing the damage. And then he's come out, he's gotten the leadoff hitter out, and he's keeping the Tide right there in it. You can put a 0 up right here, and you go to the bottom half only being down 1. Hey, listen, you're a bloop and a blast away from going to the house, so you gotta keep this thing right now at a 3-2 ball game to give your offense a chance to do something in the bottom half.
Pompey, couple of home runs on the weekend in the 8th inning, but pops out to medium center field for the second out in the 9th inning. So quick work so far by Crowther, and we'll see if he can get the Hogs in order. And Alexander Peck will be the man to stand in. Came in replacing Reese Robinette at first. Peck hit into a double play his first time up. Gets ahead in the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. And now 3-0. That is the last thing you've wanted to see thus far if you're Crowther in the Tide, because you got the top of the order rolling back around. Drops in a strike. After this one, Alabama's on the road for the next 4. They're in Birmingham playing UAB in the midweek game before heading to Austin, Texas for 3 against the Longhorns. And Crowther does indeed allow Peck to get away. Puts him at first. In the top of the order in Rutenbar will indeed stand in. There's the swing and a miss for strike 1. Oh for 4 today, dropping his average to .342. Good lead at first. Won't go anywhere as that breaking ball clips top part of the zone, and the count moves to 0-2. Off the plate. It's 1-2.
Rutenbar has had some really good at-bats over the week. Coming into the day, he had really had some good at-bats. Had 4 hits on the weekend coming in, and Crowther could get this out, would be huge to keep it right now at 3-2 game.
Swing and a miss as that one wound up around the shoe tops. A good job by Crowther to avoid any further damage. But going to the bottom of the ninth, Bama down to its final 3 outs, down a run. Three to 2, Arkansas trying to get the brooms out and sweep the Tide in Tuscaloosa. They've done it with late inning dramatics in the 8th inning. And we've talked about the left-hander Ethan McIlvaine, how he visually does indeed resemble the Hall of Famer Goose Gossage. You and I agree, Alan. More so the early mid-'80s San Diego Padres version of Goose Gossage with the full mustache. You threw Todd Jones' name out there as well.
Yeah.
Biggest thing is his effectiveness resembles those two major leaguers as well, as he gets the leadoff man for the Crimson Tide in this 9th inning. Brady Neal on 1 pitch.
Yeah, he's faced 4 hitters. He's punched out 3 and got a weak ground ball. And we know we talked about it. He's been in this role as the closer for the Hogs, and he's trying to get a 2-inning save. And it's been some tough at bats right now for the Tide.
Fastball up and in to Justin LeBron. If this score holds where it is, there's a positive, and it's the numbers you see right there. 2 doubles today for Justin LeBron. That's something Alabama can hang its hat on, because he'd struggled a little bit and struggled both offensively and defensively on Friday. But he had some success on Saturday and obviously more today.
And we talked about this on Friday night, that Justin LeBron's career numbers at the University of Alabama have been such, as we look at that weak ground ball, but his numbers have been such to his 2 years that you can't contain him for a whole year of things. And he has had a nice day today. I'm sure he would love to have that at bat back right there, but down to the last out here, the Tide needs to put something. Hey, listen, you're 1 hit away from getting something, you know, continuing to at bat.
And this is the guy who started the series scoring on Friday with a blast over the left field wall. We'll see if the series ends with him at the plate as he fouls the first one off. And the count is 0-1.
And he loves to hit the heater, Chris, and he's going to get a lot of them in this situation unless he gets 2 strikes, and then you probably see that hard slider. But he's going to go after him, McIlvaine is.
Chopper left side and foul, and now he does get ahead 0-2, and the big lefty can pretty much go with whatever he wants to here.
And Hines has struggled with the slider down to his back foot in a couple of ABs and his punch outs in this series. So either McIlvaine's going to go top of the zone with a heater or slider down in the dirt, I'm assuming.
Yep, fastball in the dirt. Split the difference. 97 almost on that fastball. Doesn't help the Bama cause that the wind is continuing to blow in, as it has all day. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one is hit well toward left, but the wind will keep it in the yard. The catch is made, and the series comes to a close. Alabama came into Friday riding an 18-game winning streak. That was the longest in Division I in terms of home game victories. But the Tide gets swept at Sewell Thomas Stadium in Arkansas, busting out the brooms in T-Town for the first time since 2015. There was some hope among the Bama faithful when this one left the bat, but then the reality of what the wind is like, and also caught that more towards the end of the barrel.
He did catch it on the end. It looks good, but just not going to go anywhere. And you look at what Arkansas came in here to do. They had to come in here after winning only 1 game in the previous 2 series. You come in here and they put together 3 really quality games, and the Tide kind of reeled a little bit in these 3 games, let a couple leads get away. But hey, no week for the weary. You got to come back on Tuesday and you get it going for another week.
Partner, always a pleasure as the visitors come to Tuscaloosa and do incredible. Tide had been on a roll, but they get rolled by the Hogs. Final score in this one again is 3-2 Razorbacks. For Alan Dunn and the rest of our SEC Network crew, I'm Chris Stewart. Thanks for joining us, and so long from Tuscaloosa.